Hello guys and welcome back to this amazing channel. This is Abhinav. In this particular video, we will discuss about the problems of contest Codechef starters 129. Yes. So actually I was not able to participate in this contest. I was busy with some other work. But after contest I absolved it. Okay, and then I was able to solve these five problems of Div 4, which was football training, Pep Bidding, Ballon, Palindromic Substring, and ConstructXor. So I thought to recall the editorial for that for these five problems from A to E. Okay, the contest, this one was I will say pretty difficult. It was a difficult contest, right? As I can see, this problem number E was even very high in case of difficulty and all. Okay, so let's discuss all the problems one by one. So the first three problems are really easy. So let's discuss them very quick. The first problem is football training. Here, you are given with two numbers x and y. X basically denotes how many players are fans of Leo, and y denotes how many players are fans of Ronaldo. Now they are saying if there are more fans of Leo, they want a kick session, free kick session. If there are more fans of Ronald, there will be a penalty session, right? So what we will do here is we will see, we will take the input of x and y. If x is greater than y, you will say free kick, right? Obviously, because it has more, Leo has more fans. Else, you will say penalty, right? So it's a very easy problem. The next problem is Pep bidding. So Pep bidding is a problem where basically you are given with four basic values, right? Four arrays, right? So you are actually given with four arrays. There's a person A, there's a team A and a team P. Okay. And now for both A and P, you have two arrays each. So team A has two arrays. I have named it as AA and DA, which means attacks of team members of A and defense of team members of A. Right. That's the thing. And P also has two things. It has AP and DP, means attack of members of A and defense of members of B. Right. Now, what actually Pep is doing is Pep is saying that if attack and defense both of a team is greater than the another team, it will opt that team, else it will opt for draw. So what I will do here is, you can see what I have actually done here is I am first taking input of all of these four vectors A, D, A, P, DP. Now I'm finding sum of all of that, sum of A, sum of D, and so on. Now, if attack of team A is greater than the attack of team B, see what I've done here is, if attack of team A is greater than attack of team B and this defense of team A is also greater than defense of team B, output is A. Else, if team P attack and defense is greater, it's P. Else, we are printing draw, right? So that's again a very straightforward question that we have solved here, right? Amazing. Let's move forward to the next problem, which is problem number C, which is balloon. This was again not a very difficult, but it was a good problem actually. The problem says that you are having an array A, okay, array A of n integers, right? And this array contains either 1 or 2. Now you have to find the product of this array A, means the multiplication of the elements of array A. Now see guys, because this array A contains only 1 and 2, its multiplication will be somehow some power of 2. Let's say 2 to the power x, where x is the number of times 2 is occurring. Are you getting this? Because when you will multiply 1, it will remain 1 only. And when you will multiply 2, it will become 2 to the power how many times it is present. So the product of A we can define in terms of 2 to the power x. Right? Great. Now what they are asking is, you have to basically find whether the product of this array can be written as a power of 8. Means, can we present it as a power of k to the power 8? K can be any number. You have to simply tell that whether this can be represented at a power of 8. So guys, as we know, As we know that the product of A will be in the form of 2 to the power x, where x is denoted by number of times 2 is occurring, right? So if we will find number of times 2 is occurring, and we have to find whether we can present it as power of 8. So we can only present this 2 to the power x as a power of 8 if this x is divisible by 8. Means if we can actually write this x as, let's say, y into 8, so we can present it like this. Yes, we can name it as 8. तो जो x है वो 8 का divisible होना चाहिए. Means x should be divisible by 8. If this x means number of times 2 is occurring is divisible by 8, that means it is possible. That means it is possible to present it as k to the power 8. Else it is not possible, right? So what I've basically done is I've simply written a function that can be 8 power. What this function is doing, it is first of all counting how many number of times 1 and 2 are present here, right? Now see, if there are all the ones present, see, that is also a case. Agar sare 1 hai, then also answer will be positive. Why? Because if all are 1, the product will also be 1, and then we can represent it as 1 to the power 8. Yes, that is possible. And if there are 2's present and the number of 2's, count of 2 is divisible by 8, if this is a thing, in that case we will return yes, else we will print no, right? So this is how we are solving this problem Ballon. This is a simple thing, right? Because see, product of A will be represented as 2 to the power x only. Now if you have to represent it as k to the power 8, x should be divisible by 8, so that you can divide it like this, right? Cool. So this was the problem number C. Now problem number D, palindromic substrings, is again a very good problem. It's a great problem actually, guys. This problem says, let me first discuss what the problem says, right? Then we will discuss the approach for it. So the problem says that you are given a binary string. What is a binary string? Binary string is a string that is made of 0 and 1, right? So it can be 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, and so on. Let's say this is the binary string, right? Now you have to. So what Alice and Bob can do? Alice and Bob are playing a game. In that game, they have to first choose a cyclic palindromic substring, or we can say a palindromic cyclic substring. कुछ भी बोल रहे हो यार, सब एक ही है. Palindromic cyclic substring, right? अब देखो क्या हो रहा है. Let's first discuss what is this palindromic cyclic substring, right? So what is a cyclic substring? So palindromic, everyone knows. Palindromic means which is same from left and right. Okay. What is cyclic substring? See, cyclic substring is actually, this is a substring. Let's say 0, 1, 1, 0. It is palindromic also actually. This is also a substring. This is also a substring. This is all a substring. Cyclic substring are if we take substring from the end and it continues till here. Are you getting? If I will number it, index it. Let's say I'm saying substring from 12 to index number 5. So 12 to index 5 means starting from here 0, 1, 0, and it will continue till 5 in a cyclic way. And you can see that it is also palindromic. So these type of palindromic cyclic substring also we can take, right? Now what's the funda? What's the funda? Funda is that in each step, in each chance, Alice or Bob will choose a palindromic cyclic substring and will remove a character from it. It can be 0, it can be 1. And if at the last there is no palindromic cyclic substring left, that means the player whose chance is there loses the game, right? Ab dekho, let's see what will be the case. Dekho guys, there will be only 4 cases when it is possible. See, if the substring is 0, or basically if the final string is 0, 1, 1, 0, or 0, 1. These are the only 4 cases when they can never choose a palindromic cyclic substring. Else, in all the other cases, there will be at least one palindromic cyclic substring. Let me tell you why. See, because when the string size is just one, then obviously it's not possible because they are saying that length should be greater than one. Then obviously player will lose if there is only one character left. Even if there is 1 0 0 1 left, then also the player will lose. Why it will lose? Because in this case also it cannot find a palindromic substring which is of more than one size. But guys, in all the other cases they will find. How? See, देखो, अगर 1 0 है, right, if you will add any extra character in it, you will see there will be at least one palindromic cyclic substring. How? If you will add a 1, it is a palindrome. If you will add a 0, this is a palindrome. If you will add a 1 here, this is a palindrome. 0, this is a palindrome. 0, this is a palindrome. Any character you will add, a palindrome will come out of it. Because why? Because even if there are repeating ones or repeating zeros like this, there will always be a palindromic substring possible of size 2. So हमेशा if there is a repeating character 1 1 0 0, there will be always a palindromic cyclic substring. देख लो यहाँ पे ये भी एक है, ये भी है, right? And repeating will not be there until there is only two characters left, which is 1 0 or 0 1, or there is just 0 1 present. That is the only case when no more chances can be taken. But in all the other cases, the player can play a chance. You can see. Up the thing comes that if Alice wants to win, he will try to make the string in any one of these cases so that Bob cannot play a chance. And if Bob wants to win, he will try to make the string in like this so that Alice cannot take a chance, right? Ab dekho. The case is if n is even. See, if n is even, first Alice will play, then Bob will play. Then Alice will play, then Bob will play. So they will play equal number of games, right? But after playing equal number of games, if when at the last only two bits will be left, देखना समझना. If at the last they will play, for example, they will play for this, okay? They will play for this. Now it is even. Okay, so if they will play for this, you can see that they first, let's say Alice will remove this, not this. Bob will remove this, Alice will remove this, and so on. The game will not stop until either of four will be remaining. So at the last, when they will play some chances, because there are n is even, after equal number of chances, at the last two characters will be left, and now Alice will have the chance, right? क्योंकि even है, let's say there are even number of chances, right? So when they both will play and by 2 minus 1 chances and by 2 minus 1 chances, at the last two digits will be left, two bits will be left. Are you getting? Right. Up see, if those two bits are 0 0 or 1 1, then Alice will simply play a chance. It will remove 0 or 1, and then Bob will lose. But if at the last 1 0 will be remaining or 0 1 will be remaining, then Alice cannot play the chance and Alice will lose. So what Alice will try? Alice will try to have 0 zeros or 1 1 at the last. But Bob will try to not have that at the last if n is even. See, if n is even, then we are saying this, right? So see guys, what we will actually do here and what will actually happen. So इस case में क्या होगा कि Alice will try to have 0 0 and 1 1, but 0 0 and 1 1 will always only be possible when we have extra zeros present. So देखो, we will find number of zeros present and number of ones present. So देखो, मान लो number of zeros are 5 and number of ones are also 5. In that case, this condition will never happen, because if Alice will pick a 0, Bob will pick a 1. Alice will pick a 0, Bob will pick a 1. Ultimately, 0 1 will be remaining. Equal 0 will be remaining. Even if, let's say, there are 6 zeros and 5 ones. In this case, let's say Alice pick a 1, Bob will pick a 0, because Bob will never want to let 0 0 0 1 at the last. तो ये केस तो बनेगा ही नहीं, by the way. This case will never happen here because here we are having even number of n. So maybe let's say it is 5 5 or 4 4. In any of the cases, allies will never win because मान लो अगर 5 0 और 5 1 है, let's say 0 0 0 1 1 0 0 1 1 1. So what Bob will do? Bob will first remove a 0. Sorry. Let's say allies removed a 0. Bob will remove a 1. Allies remove a 0. Bob will remove a 1. Allies remove 0. Bob remove 1. Allies remove 0. Bob remove 1. At the last, 0 1 will be always present if they are equal. But if the difference between them is more than 2, let's say if n is 4 and this is 6, in this case allies will win. How? Let's say if allies has taken 0, Bob will take 1. Allies will take 0, Bob will take 1. Allies 0, Bob 1. Allies 0, Bob 1. And finally, 2 ones are present, zeros are gone. Because number of ones were more. So at the last, allies will manage to keep 2 extra ones remain. It will remain zeros, right? That's the thing. So the first case that we are doing here is simple. That first of all, we are finding how many number of zeros and how many number of ones are there. Also, guys, if there is only one, initially only if the size of the string is 1, then allies will never get a chance to play and Bob will ultimately win. अगर स्टार्टिंग में सिर्फ एक ही डिजिट है तो allies खेल नहीं पाएगा, Bob जीत जाएगा, ठीक है. Else what we will do? First of all, we will find zeros and 1. How many zeros and 1 are there? And we will find their difference because difference matters, right? As I told you, if number of ones and number of zeros will be equal, allies will not win. If it is more than 2 or equal to 2, allies will win, right? So now, if n is even, the case we were discussing, if n is even and the difference is more than 2, means allies will manage to get a 0 0 or 1 1 at the last. In that case, allies will win. Else Bob will win. मतलब अगर दोनों इक्वल होंगे, दोनों 5 या 5 हैं, तो लास्ट में 0 1 या 1 0 ही बचेगा, तो बॉब जीतेगा, ठीक है. अब देखो केस क्या है, ये तो था कि इवन के लिए. Now comes odd. So now when it will come for odd, what will happen? In this case, allies will actually play n by 2 chances and Bob will play n by 2 minus 1 chances. So overall if you will see, let's say n अगर 7 है तो allies 3 chances चलेगा, Bob 2 चलेगा, total 5 chances they will play, and after doing that 2 digits will be left and now chances of Bob. So in when n was even, when 2 digits were remaining, allies was having chance. But when n is odd, at the last when 2 bits will be remaining, Bob will have chance. So same logic will be there, but the prompt will be swapped. Because यहाँ पे Bob चल रहा है, तो if difference is more than 2, Bob will win, else allies will, right? So guys, this is how we are solving this particular problem. This was actually a very good problem, which is palindromic substring, and I try to explain it in a better way. If you guys still have any doubt, you can for sure ask that to me in the comment section, or you can join our Telegram channel to ask your doubt, right? Amazing, amazing, great. So now let's move forward, guys. So next we have this problem ConstructXor, which is again a very difficult and a good problem, right? The problem statement is very clear. The problem statement says that you are simply having two numbers n and s, right? Now what you have to do is we have to find a array of size n such that its sum is equal to s, means such that the sum of all the number is equal to s and the XOR of all the elements is 0. That is what you have to find, right? Right. Up देखो guys, means for example if n is let's say 10 or let's say 6, s is let's say 10. So the possible answer can be 1 1 1 1 and 3 3. So you will see that the sum of these elements is equal to 10 and the XOR will be 0. Why 0? Because you can see guys, here in this particular array that I've printed, I have made every element to appear twice. And we know that the XOR of equal element is 0. So ultimately the XOR of them will become as 0. That's the first thing we'll discuss, that we will try to repeat every element twice. We will try to repeat every element twice, right? So basically we will divide the array, this sum, into two parts, 1 5 1 5, 1 1 3 1 1 3, and that is why this sum should be even. That's the very first thing, because guys, as we know, see, XOR कब 0 होता है दो numbers का? So XOR of two numbers is 0 if they have same bits. Are you right? Am I right? If they have same bits. So if you want to make the XOR of all the numbers 0, you want to have each bit even number of time. मतलब मान लो बहुत सारे numbers भी हैं like this. So you want, for each bit you want even number of time. This is even, this is even. And so that if each bit is present even number of times, that means the whole sum of all the numbers should also be even. So the very first thing is that if S is odd, your answer will be not present. It will be minus. That's the first thing. If S is odd, answer is minus 1. One more thing. S should be greater than N, or at least equal to N. If S is less than N, in this case also answer is minus 1. Why? How? Because guys, see, then they are saying that the elements should be positive integer. Means the elements of this array that you have to build should be greater than 0. It should not be 0. So if it is greater than 0, at least all the elements of the array should be 1. And if there are n numbers in the array, the minimum sum should be n. N से छोटा sum तो हो ही नहीं सकता है. So if s is less than n, still answer is minus 1, right? Also guys, if n is equal to 1, here also answer is minus 1, means array is not possible. Why? Because for a single number, its XOR can never be 0, right? So if you will see in the code also, I have considered all these three cases. The very first case is if s is odd, or if n is 1, or if s is less than n, simply print minus 1. Answer is not present, right? Cool. Now guys, see the very first thing. देखो, अब अगर हमें पता है, now if we know that s is, let me erase everything. Now, if we know that s is even, n can be odd, also, right? Ab now let's say n is 6, s is 6, both are 6. Now if both are 6, that definitely means that every element of the array should be 1 only, because there are 6 elements and you want sum of all the six elements also equal to 6. That means element will be 1 1 1 only, no other chance. And they will also give XOR equal to 0, because they are present even number of times. S is even na, and if n and s are equal and s is even, that means the overall XOR will also be 0, right? That will be the thing. So we will simply print 1 1 1 1 1 and we will get the answer. So you can see here, if n and s are equal, right, then we are simply printing 1 1 1 up to n times. That will give you the answer, because their sum will also be equal to s and their XOR will also be 0. Cool guys, that's the first case that we discussed, when n is equal to s. Okay, amazing. Up, very important part, if n is even. See guys, very important part, if n is even. When n is even and if it is not equal to s, in this case also guys, we will do very similar to what we did previously. See, मान लो, let's say n is 6, s is 16, for example. Okay. So what I will do guys, I want to basically print every number twice, so that their XOR becomes 0 at the last, right? That is what I will do. How I will do this? Let's see how I will do this. See guys, कैसे हम इसको करेंगे? How we will actually do actually this is कि we have 6 numbers, 1 2 3 4 5 6. So remaining we will leave 2 numbers. For all other numbers I will make 1. Means for n minus 2 numbers I will simply print 1. Right. तो ना मैंने यहाँ 4 1 डाल दिए. This also means that key the remaining sum is 12. Means for this remaining sum 12 I will fill that numbers here. Right. तो 4 हमने 1 डाल दी. Means n minus 2 times I will fill 1. And now whatever is the sum remaining, because it was even, simply divide it by 2 and place it in the remaining 2 parts. Now you can see again the sum is equal to what you want and the XOR is 0. This is what we will do if n is even and s was already even. तो देखो क्या किया हमने? If n is even, I am simply printing 1 how many times? N minus 2 times. And now whatever the remainder is, remaining sum is, which is 16 minus this n minus 2, because n minus 2 ones are printed, right? Whatever remaining sum is, printed 2 times half. So 12 का हमने 6 print कर दिया. That's all. Every number is printed twice. So the XOR will be 0. This is when n is even. Now the complex part comes. If n is odd. Now when n is odd, guys, here also we have 2 cases. One case is when n is 3, it will have different thing. And second case is when n is so actually guys, one more thing that actually okay, ठीक है, we will discuss that. So first thing is that when n is 3 and second thing is when n is greater than 3. We will take 2 different cases when n is odd, right? Now let's see how we will solve these cases, right? Let's first discuss for n is equal to 3. अब देखो guys, when n is 3 and s is obviously a even number, let's say s is 10. ठीक है. अब देखो, when s is 10, what we will first of all do, just like we are doing previously, we will divide it into 2 different equal parts, which is 5 and 5, 101 and 101. But here we need 3 numbers such that their XOR is 0. यहाँ पे we got just 2 numbers. So what can we do now? So guys, what I'm actually doing is, what I will do, I will divide one of these number into 2 parts. जैसे यहाँ पे एक तो 101 ये रहेगा. 101 I will keep at digit 5. This I will divide into 2 parts. One I will make 100. Basically I will take the last bit and make it as a different number. तो मैंने 101 में से I will divide into 2 parts, 100 and 001. So you can see still sum is same. Sum is 10 still. And XOR is also 0. And now we have 3 numbers also. Right. So this is how we find the 3 numbers when n is 3. How? One number will be simply s by 2. Okay. For example, let me take a different thing. Let's say s is 22. So when s is 22, I will take 2 numbers first of all. 11 and 11. 11 will be 1011 and 101. Now for this 1011, I will divide into 2 parts, 1010 and 0001. That's all. Now we have 3 different numbers, 1011 which is 11, 1010 which is 10 and 0001. Let's do a different thing. Let's say RS is 20. So for S20 what we will do? It will be 10 comma 10 means 1010. So how we will divide it? We will make it like this. 1000 and 10. तो हो जाएंगे हमारे पास 10 comma this is 8 comma 2. You can see this also sum is 20 but their XOR will be 0. You can check, right? So this is how we will find the 3 numbers when n is 3. This is how we will find a number. But the problem comes when this s is actually a power of 2. Means if it has only one set bit, let's say, or basically when s by 2 is a power of 2, sorry. For example, let's say our s is 16. So when s is 16, yeah, basically s is power of 2, ठीक है. So when s is 16, it will be like this, and s by 2 will be this and this, 8 and 8. Now for 8 and 8, you cannot divide into two parts because it has only one single one. You cannot divide. So in this case, answer will be minus 1. So you can see what I'm doing here is, I'm first of all finding s by 2, right? For example, when s was 20, what we did, our x was 10, right? So एक तो हमारा आंसर 10 हो गया, 1010. Now we will find the bits of this 10 and store it in a bits. So for example, 0, 1, 2, 3. So 0, 2 and 3. These are the three places where bits are present. Okay, 0 and 2 only, right? If I will store. Now if bit size is greater than 1, because if it has only one bit, see, अगर मान लो 100 होता इस तरीके से, means there is only one bit, means we cannot divide it, answer will be minus 1, right? But if it has more than one bits, now what we will do? Now we will remove one of the bits. So क्या करेंगे हम कि when we have x as 1010, I will make a y out of it. Y क्या होगा? Y will actually be just one bit of it. So I have all the bits here. We have bits as 0 and 2 index. Right. तो इसमें से एक बिट में निकाल लूंगा लास्ट वाली, this one. So y will be equal to 10. 1 times left side. ठीक है. अब it's very simple. I will print x, which is 1010. I will print y, which is 0010, and I will print x minus y, which is 1000. You can print x, y, and x minus, such that their sum will be equal to 2x only, which is equal to s only. Their sum will be equal to s only, and their XOR will also become equal to 0, right? That is what we are doing here. That is what we are doing, right? I hope you got it. So this was the case when n is 3, when n is simply 3, no more numbers. Now thing comes when n is greater than 3. This is the last case when n is greater than 3. For n is greater than 3, guys, here also I will do the same thing. See guys, here what I will do is, here I will combine my both the logic when n was 3 and when n was even. I will combine both of these logic. See, let's say n is 11. When n is 11, what I will do, I will first of all take three numbers whose XOR is 0. The default three numbers that are 1, 2 and 3. I will take these three numbers by default. You can see their XOR is 0 and their sum is 6. मान लो हमारे पास n दिया है 11 and our s was given as, let's say, 30. Okay, so first of all we'll take three numbers. So see, in this case when n was 3, there also we were doing the same thing. We were finding three numbers, but we were finding three numbers whose sum was equal to s. Here we don't actually need sum equal to s. We can add more numbers, na? N is greater than 3. So I'm first of all finding basic three numbers. By default, we will take 1, 2 and 3 as our three numbers whose XOR is 0, you can see, and whose sum is 6. तो मतलब हमने ये numbers लिए, right? So means out of this and 11, we got these three numbers, 1, 2 and 3. Now 8 numbers are remaining. Now this 8 will always be even. This will always be even. Ab now if 8 is even, and also this sum will be remaining is 24. Remaining sum is 24. So now n is 8, sum is 24. We know that for n even what to do. Simple. क्या करेंगे हम? That for n minus 2 times means 6 times, we will place 1, and for remaining we will divide it by 2 and make 9 and 9. That's all. So here the case will be 1, 2, 3, 9, 9 and then 6 times 1. That's all. So what we are doing actually here? See, first of all we will find the remainder. What is the remainder? See guys, remainder क्या है? देखो. We have, let me tell you from start. N is 11, S is 30, N is greater than 3 is the case, right? What I'm doing here, I'm saying first of all I will take three numbers by default, which is 1, 2 and 3, right? 1, 2 and 3. Now I will take two numbers that I will tell you separate. So these two numbers I will find what to take. So we have chosen these 5 numbers, and for remaining n minus 5 numbers, I will place 1. Right? I will place 1. So overall, how much sum we have chosen? तो हमारे पास एक sum तो ये 6 है, and this is a sum which is n minus 5. Right? So out of total sum, we know that we have some 6 here, which is 1, 2, and 3, and we have some n minus 5 here. अब जो remaining sum होगा, this remaining sum I will distribute equally here. So this remaining sum is s minus n minus 5 plus 6, because 6 यहाँ से आ गया और n minus 5 यहाँ से आ गया. Right? Now this remaining sum should be more than 2, so that it should be distributed equally. So if it is less than 2, simply print minus 1. Now if it is more than 2, what I will do, I will first of all print 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Simple. Print it. And now for remaining n minus 5, मतलब 3 numbers to print होगा. Up from 3 to, or we can do it like this. For remaining n minus 5, what I will do, I will say print 1. Print 1. So 3 ये print हो गए, and n minus 5 times this is printed. Right? And then whatever was the remaining sum, just like here, that remaining sum will be the n minus 5 is 6. So 6 times 1 is printed, and 6 is here. Remaining is 18. So now this remaining 18 will be divided here with 9 and 9. So remaining by 2 and remaining by 2 will be printed, and this will always be even. Remaining will always be even. Right? So guys, that's the basic thing that we are doing here. So we divided the question into 3 parts. First part was when n is even, then when n is equal to 3, and when n is greater than 3, and it's odd obviously. So I hope that you have got the understanding of this particular problem. If you still have any doubt, you can ask that to me in the comment section, or you can also join Telegram channel to ask your doubt. Thank you. Have a nice day.